BYU tight end Isaac Rex with us on 365 Sports at Pro Days here in Frisco with the Big 12. And a viewer of our show.
I am a viewer. I'm a subscriber on YouTube. I check you guys out all the time, especially the conference realignment, whole fiasco back in the day.
Oh.
You guys were on top of it. Any rumor you guys heard, you guys were covering it. And so I loved watching it. It was awesome.
What was that like as a player going through the unknown or whatever the future was going to be?
Well, it was definitely interesting in terms of, 1 week you're in the Big 12, the next week Arizona's in the Big 12, and then Utah's in the Big 12, Arizona State, and then the whole Pac-12 is, going the Big 10, and now there's only 2 teams in the Pac-12. Just a crazy situation, but, I'm glad BYU found their home early because, man, you would not want to be stuck in that.
How exciting was it to be a part of that for BYU, like to be a part of that era? I know that this year was, a little bit rocky at times, but still, you guys, the momentum that you have as a university is pretty huge.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, I think back in the day it was 2021 they announced it, and then that Saturday we beat Utah. So it was like the best weekend in BYU sports history, I feel like. We broke the streak, and then we also, got in the Big 12. So that was probably one of the best days in BYU history, probably, besides the national championship.
We know there's no love lost between the two programs, but how do you feel about being conference mates, BYU and Utah?
Oh, I think it's awesome. I mean, to be back in the conference with Utah is so cool, and then you have that rival up north that hopefully, you could be playing for something that means more than just, a game, but something that can lead to a conference championship, a Big 12 championship. And so, I think it's awesome that BYU has, a neighbor in Utah to be in the Big 12 with.
How rowdy is it in that game between the two fan bases?
I sadly only played in once. So I played in 2021, and it was at home, it was at BYU, and luckily we were on the winning side. But it's intense. I mean, everyone up north is big Utah fans. My in-laws are huge Utah fans, actually.
Oh, really?
So there's even family feuds that go on within BYU and Utah families. So it's a big deal over there.
That game with Baylor last year when you won it double overtime, I think it was. Everyone that went to that game in Provo came back. They could not discuss the atmosphere enough. Could you try to describe the atmosphere of a night game especially?
Oh, yeah. I mean, a night game, I feel like BYU has probably the biggest, maybe on the West Coast, home field advantage for those night games. Our student section is top-notch. The Rock, they go crazy. You've seen it probably 1,000 times of other teams getting false starts or, offsides because it's hard to hear. Like, you can't hear it when you're on the student section because they're so crazy, they're so wild. And, BYU's fans are amazing.
How's your health? How's everything coming in these workouts? I know you had to come over, get over some injuries. I watched you run the 40 earlier, doing some stretching exercises I don't think I've ever seen before, making sure you're ready to go. How did you feel everything went today?
It was good. I mean, I feel like I wish my times were a little bit better. A lot of the tight ends felt like, it was maybe a little slower than anticipated, but, that's just how it goes, and you can't dwell on it too much. And now it's time to, focus on football and get in good football shape. So,
has the NFL always been like the lifelong dream for you? Has that always been on the radar first and foremost, I guess?
Yeah, no, that's been probably my goal ever since I was a kid to, make an NFL roster, to contribute to the team. I feel like I'm a good enough player that I could come in and help a team, whether that's in blocking situations, special teams, or, on the offensive side of the ball. So, that's always been a dream of mine, and hopefully I can achieve that goal.
And your father was pretty good at BYU, huh?
He was good, man, All-American back in the day. And so he brainwashed me into going to BYU, and also my little brother. So my little brother's a safety right there, Preston.
And you have a son that's a year and a half?
A year old. A year old next week.
What's that like, juggling all of that?
Yeah, so it's his birthday next week, Luca, and he is a cute little kid. He's starting to walk, so I haven't seen him in probably 10 days because my wife went out to Provo, or she went out to Utah the other day, and so I'm excited, to see him again and hang out with him. Luca, yep.
Luca Doncic named, or is there a different?
I mean, it's a Hawaiian name actually. It's a name that's a lot of different nationalities have. Like it's Eastern European and it's actually Hawaiian for Luke, and so my grandma's Hawaiian, so I kind of keep that culture within our family. And yeah, I mean, Luca, he's the cutest little kid. So
Isaac Rex, a tight end, BYU, with us on 365 Sports. You speak fluent Samoan.
I do. Yeah.
Is that something that kind of just came natural because of your lineage, or?
No, I served my mission in Samoa. So I was there for 2 years on a rural island, in the middle of the Pacific. And it was definitely a crazy experience, but it was a really cool experience too.
Well, it's beautiful out there.
It's really. Yeah.
I mean, I know that you're not just there on the beach.
You're
doing some work there. But how hard was it to pick up?
It took me about a year for sure.
Yeah.
It's a different language in terms of it's pretty simple. English is so complex. Like there's so many different words. In the Samoan language, there's not a ton of words, but you could use it in different ways. So it was definitely hard to pick up, but it was a cool.
I was in Hawaii the last 2 years. I got engaged in Hawaii
nice.
and on Kauai, and I got married on Oahu last year.
Yeah.
And the thing I thought was really cool about the culture is that they're so connected to their home. Like it's very
exactly, yep.
It's very unique, and not in a way like people from Texas are proud they're from Texas. People are proud, but like it's almost hard to explain, right?
Yeah.
About how connected they are to Hawaii or to Samoa or wherever they are from.
Yeah, I mean that's the homeland for them, and there's a ton of Polynesians on the team, and Polys are very family oriented in terms of the grandmas live in the house, the little kids in the house, they're not kicking them out, sending them to old folks' homes. They're very family oriented.
What are your expectations over the next month between now and the draft, and then whatever happens after that?
Yeah, I feel like my expectations are, I want to just whatever team is willing to take a chance on me. I would love to, get that chance, and then it's straight football from there. So I'll be competing in OTAs and in rookie minicamp, and it's going to be definitely a grind, but a cool experience.
Everybody who we've had like a half a dozen players along with you, has tried to. They can't say enough about this experience with what the Big 12 has done, the Omni, the facilities, and the moment. How would you describe what this week has been like for you?
No, it's been really cool. I mean, to stay at such a nice hotel and to perform at a great stadium. I was here for the Shrine Bowl, and so I was able to get acquainted with Frisco a little. And Frisco's a great little town, and there's a lot of good food around, and it's like a lot of good things to see and go do. So, yeah, I mean, this experience has been great, and I can't thank the Big 12 enough.
Would you believe that 20 years ago there was nothing?
Maybe not even that long ago. This was
really?
one high school. Now there's 12. There were no buildings. It was like a bunch of wheat fields or whatever, corn, and now you've got this massive city pulling itself out of the dirt.
When I say nothing, this is where people ran from the law. I
didn't realize that. I mean, I'm not a Texas guy.
Yeah.
I don't really have any affiliation with Texas, but it's a great time. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to moving here one day.
We had Kalani Sitake on the show, in fact, yesterday. How would you discuss him as a coach, as a man, and what he's meant to the program as a former player himself?
Oh, I love Kalani. I mean, I don't think I don't think there's a better coach out there. He is a great head coach. He loves the players. He loves the fans, the faculty. He's a great overall coach, and I wish our season went a little bit better and he gets some hate maybe he doesn't deserve, but Kalani he's a top-notch guy, and he's a great leader for BYU.
Well, thank you for your time. Good luck, man.
No,
Isaac,
thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for subscribing.
Yeah.
Isaac Rex, BYU Tight End, and we're in Frisco, and this is 365 Sports.